How can we watch Caitlin? Can we come to the event? Can you live stream it? All of these things. And it ended up being put on television.
In contrast to the WNBA, which seems to erupt at the thought of giving Caitlin Clark any real credit or spotlight, ESPN just dropped a bombshell about her shiny new contract with the one league that truly deserves her. Yes, the LPGA is bringing Clark into the golf world, where she can finally be seen being honored and appreciated.
What we saw from Caitlin Clark playing golf was the LPGA being really happy about it.
Fans are excited to see her shine, especially since the WNBA has gone to great lengths to minimize her brilliance and instead focus on players like A.A. Wilson and Angel Ree, ignoring the fact that Clark has been harassed on the court and that the WNBA hasn't even acknowledged her struggles or accomplishments.
It's gotten to the stage now where it seems like they're just trolling the WNBA. Like, at this stage, I think they're just trolling the WNBA.
Caitlin Clark recently signed an industry-shifting contract with the LPGA. Yes, you read correctly. A basketball sensation entered the golf world and made it a complete spectacle. However, ESPN did what they do best, killing the excitement with the grace of a lead balloon. Rather than taking advantage of the moment and making this story as big as it deserved, they provided coverage that was so boring it could put an insomniac to sleep. Come on, ESPN, you'd think Caitlin was knitting instead of igniting sports history.
See here, this is days later. Nothing but love for Caitlin Clark over here. Constantly saying, like, it's always, everything is like, who doesn't love Caitlin Clark? Like, all of these posts are like...
This is Caitlin Clark, a once-in-a-lifetime athlete shattering two sports at once, and ESPN handled it like a back-page footnote. It's mind-boggling how you can take a headline meant to be screamed from the rooftops and present it like a lecture that makes you want to fall asleep. Clark's first foray into the golf world drew a crowd that dwarfed anything the WNBA did this year.
The fact that the WNBA posted nothing, posted zero about Caitlin Clark golfing in this Pro-Am.
In the meantime, the LPGA was out there teaching Clark a masterclass in how to avoid screwing up. Instead of inviting her to a pointless golf event, they took her to a prom that wasn't even meant to be televised. But here's the thing. Fans practically begged the LPGA for coverage on social media. Unlike some basketball leagues, the LPGA knew how to pivot and televise the event, turning it into a spectacle that drew attention from all directions, resulting in an absurd 34 million social media impressions. That kind of figure, 34 million, makes the WNBA appear to be playing with crayons.
The LPGA did literally everything correct. They capitalized on the moment. They found a way to put it on television. They allowed people to be there. Caitlin was signing autographs.
And the LPGA's genius didn't end there. In a masterful move in sports marketing, they teamed Clark with the best golfer in the world, Nelly Korda, to create an electrifying duo that enthralled even those who couldn't tell the difference between a baseball bat and a golf club.
And the LPGA was promoting the crap out of this event. And they also did something really smart by pairing her up with their currently #1 golfer in the world. And her name is Nelly Korda.
Because they were skilled players, the event wasn't just a victory for golf. It was also a cultural moment and an epic splash that demonstrated the LPGA was more than just a golf association but an entertainment powerhouse.
Their #1 golfer, this is the perfect marketing opportunity.
Let's move on to the NBA's response, or rather, the lack thereof, which was louder than a stadium full of disgruntled fans. How can you ignore Caitlin Clark when she's trending on Twitter and TikTok? Not a single tweet, shout out, or even a dull Instagram story. Just complete radio silence. The WNBA didn't just make a mistake, they sent it skyward, as if they've gone out of their way to demonstrate that they don't know how to market their own future megastar.
Fumbling it for people like me who never wanted to play professional basketball because I didn't see a future in it. Now, girls can see a future in it.
It's a slap in the face to fans who are out there pleading for content for any acknowledgement of Clark's greatness, but the WNBA doesn't care. While the LPGA was out there flexing their social media game, making Clark the face of golf for a day, the WNBA just sat in the corner twiddling their thumbs. Caitlin Clark is a household name, a social media sensation, a game changer with crossover appeal, and leagues would sell their souls for her.
If you look at the LPGA Twitter account, it is filled with Caitlin Clark things. Photos of her, a whole video of the fans cheering, her signing things, taking photos, their players hanging out with Caitlin, and obviously they're showing their golfers as well.
And let's not act as though this is a singular occurrence. The entire marketing strategy of the WNBA is a tragic comedy. How many more times must they squander the opportunity to showcase their stars before realizing that they are intentionally alienating fans? Clark is a marketing treasure trove who might boost their audience, give their shows new life, and bring in the money they sorely need, but the WNBA's reaction crickets, deafening, embarrassing crickets.
Caitlin Clark's golf debut just made me so upset with the WNBA.
Caitlin Clark, it's not just about golf. This generational basketball star secured a contract with the LPGA, marking a turning point for women's sports and a pattern for elevating athletes. Of course, ESPN treated this like some forgettable, half-hearted news item. You'd think Clark was announcing her retirement to start a knitting club with how little excitement they brought to the table. Meanwhile, what's the WNBA doing? They're busy being the silent, clueless entity we've come to expect. How do you, as a sports league, ignore a star like Caitlin Clark? She's not just a player, she's a phenomenon, the kind of crossover appeal that could save the league from irrelevance. But did they seize the moment? No. It's embarrassing. Not a post, not a tweet, and not even a WHER of acknowledgement.
You have great players in this league. You have Paige coming in. You have Juju. Do not fumble it with those girls either. Stop fumbling the moment, because you're not only fumbling it for the current players in the league, you are fumbling it for every girl who wants to play professional basketball at one point.
It's a slap in the face to fans and a complete disservice to the league itself that the LPGA is treating Clark like royalty while the WNBA is acting as though she doesn't exist. Let's not forget about the future stars who will be watching all of this. Juju Watkins and Paige Buers, who are both set to join the WNBA soon, are likely questioning their choices. Would you want to play in a league that struggles to market its best players? If the WNBA continues to make mistakes like this, they run the risk of losing these amazing athletes before they ever put on a jersey. Although Beckers and Watkins are the future and more than just names, given the NBA's propensity to blow every marketing chance, these guys may start looking elsewhere. It's practically self-defeating, not simply a poor tactic.
This was the perfect opportunity for the WNBA to do, have you seen it when an NBA player or a football player goes to an NBA game or goes to wherever, and they'll be in the comments or they'll just say something something cute? This was the perfect time for the WNBA to also be posting about this, and they said no.
This time, ESPN was able to surpass their typical mediocrity. The story of Caitlin Clark's LPGA contract should have made the top page, but ESPN handled it like a snooze fest, focusing on the most uninteresting details rather than showcasing Clark's groundbreaking crossover move. It seems as though they lack enthusiasm and are unable to detect a seismic shift when it occurs directly in front of them. As usual, ESPN reported it in a dull news release, but Clark isn't simply playing golf, she's making history.
And it just goes to show that all of us who have been speaking out about this and saying, it doesn't seem like you guys are giving Caitlin, the kind of props that she deserves for bringing all these eyeballs and, the Caitlin Clark effect that we talk about, viewership, money, all of those things.
The painful irony is that ESPN should be leading the charge to support women's sports and should be promoting athletes like Caitlin Clark, particularly when she's doing something so groundbreaking. Instead, they're contributing to the issue by mirroring the NBA's incapacity to highlight stars Clark, who is emerging as a cross-sport sensation and a trailblazer for women in athletics. The lack of enthusiasm and the shoddy coverage, it's offensive. How can you not be excited about this and recognize that this is the story that has the potential to change the way we think about female athletes?
All of the people who were shouting this for the entire WNBA season, this is an instance where we are proved correct.
And may we discuss the endorsements? When the legendary Serena Williams shouts you out, you take advantage of it. However, the WNBA, as usual, did nothing at all. This is a terrible message to send to young athletes. If you're Paige Buers or Juju Watkins, you're probably wondering if the WNBA will ever have your back or if they'll continue to ignore their own talent. Serena freaking Williams praised Caitlin Clark's talent, acknowledging her resilience and the immense pressure she handles with such grace. The bigger picture is really clear. The LPGA's marketing victory ought to have served as a warning to everyone as they exploit Clark's celebrity to boost their whole roster and make golf seem exciting and hip. The WNBA and ESPN should feel ashamed of how poorly they handled this. Clark's contract is about more than just the present. It's about laying the groundwork for women's sports in the future. However, because of ESPN's indifferent coverage and the WNBA's perplexing silence, this moment fell flat. It serves as a harsh reminder that although some businesses are advancing, others are mired in the past and clinging to their incapacity.